And here we go. Hello,
I cannot believe
everybody.
you pulled me away from a party for this shit.
Yeah, well, again, you're welcome.
Yeah, whatever. Let's just do it.
Dude,
The
I was on
first two people
three...
I see here are Roz and fucking Ken. God
Dude,
damn it.
I was on a 3,000 plus quota in Lethal Company, killing End-to-End for fun.
Cool.
What game are you playing? What?
It's called Lethal Company.
He was playing
Oh,
Pong.
you're playing that. So, sorry, I didn't hear if you had said that before.
I did. I
didn't
said it
hear
right before. That's okay.
Oh, my apologies.
You're good.
Scott, whatever sheep you killed to put on your sweater today, it looks really nice.
Hold on, let me.
Ew, he's gonna strip.
Do you guys know what the
Just
most
said,
Did you
The
guys
most
want to make this a
expensive- This is a
drunk
Christmas gift
session?
from
Let's do
my-
this a drunk session.
My sister-in-law.
Let's fucking go. Woo!
Ooh,
I had to
it's
stop
my
drinking like 3
Christmas.
hours ago because I had to drive home.
I know, because you're old as shit. Sorry.
You're home now. You can grab a beer.
Oh,
Okay.
now.
You want to know a true story from today? I went and got my head shaved today. And
Wow,
it was
you look
a
beautiful.
43-year-old Russian lady who had moved to America in like her 20s who cut my hair. She was
Should've
very
slept
blunt
on
and straightforward. And she was surprised to find out I was not, in fact, in my mid-40s.
Mid-30s. I mean, close
She
enough.
did a great job, though.
Thank you.
So hold on.
Hey, I'm in my mid-30s too,
She
okay?
finished
Why-
cutting my hair, and you know what she said? She said, "Are you happy with it? It's the best I could do."
What?
I mean, there wasn't much.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Because
Did you-
fuck you, Ken. That's why.
I mean,
Did you give her a tip?
why did you shave it yourself? Because it's not cutting your
Shut
hair.
the fuck
it's-
up, Scott. Why don't you fucking shave your ugly ass fucking head?
I mean, when I used to bick my head, I
Wait,
did. I did it.
Oh, there you
So
go.
I-
Okay, that was for you.
I won't lie. Adler shaves my sides.
Mhm.
So,
why? Okay, why would you
That's
lie
cool.
about that?
huh?
Why would you lie about that? I don't understand why you would lie.
Lie about what?
You said I'm not gonna lie. She shaves my head, but like, why
Yeah.
would you lie?
Well, because I go get the rest of my hair colored. I go to a salon to get it colored.
Oh,
Ken, I don't give a fuck about your or Scott's opinions.
That's not true. You love my opinion.
My very good friend Lauren owns like a beauty salon here in my town, and I've
and
been
you don't
going
let
to
her
her.
touch the sides, huh?
Well, I mean, when I go in to get
said
it,
that's
but
for
like
my
I'm not gonna
wife.
go in to pay somebody to
I'm not touching
shave
them.
the sides of my head.
Okay.
I
I've
can-
got a question.
Oh, okay.
Before we start, do you guys know what the most expensive single brick, in current production for Legos? Do you know how much it is? How much it costs?
Can we?
Well,
What is
isn't
the
it
brick?
the Mandalorian one?
It's a single brick. It's not a Mandalorian brick.
Is it a special? What's special about this brick?
What's special about this brick is it is a motor.
Okay.
Oh no! I'm thinking about something different. I know what it was that I
All
was
right.
thinking
How
about.
much? What does it cost?
It's on sale right now, 30% off.
Okay.
$175.
Can you link me? I might need it.
Yeah, I can link you.
Thanks.
There's a piece of the stormtrooper helmet. There's only 2 pieces in the box that it comes with, and that piece for some reason doesn't always come in the box. For some, I saw that piece alone is selling for like $300 something on eBay all the time. It's fucking crazy.
I mean,
That
I
is
spent
crazy.
$1,200 on a Revan cosplay, so I guess I can't really talk.
I spent $600 on a Millennium Falcon build that's just sitting behind me now
I spent $5
not even- it's not
on
even-
an oat milk latte.
God, no one cares.
at Starbucks.
No.
Oh, okay.
the
Good
local
on you.
place. Brittany drinks too much Starbucks, and I think that it's not good. So
We're on.
Oh my
we're
God.
on-
I got
on
an
strike from
espresso for
Starbucks.
Christmas.
a
A
single
maker or
one?
just a single coffee?
No, just one coffee. Yeah, no.
believe
Uh,
Messi got you a single coffee for Christmas.
No, his mom got me a Nespresso, the machine.
Oh,
for
Nespresso.
Christmas.
Is it the
Yeah.
Virtuoso or the regular or the classic?
The Virtuo.
I think Adler got
Virtuo
one too.
Pop, I think is what it's called.
Now there's a pop
Something
in
like that. I don't know. It's yeah. I guess it's it's the small one. It doesn't do the
Th-
carafe.
Th-
but
th-
it
th-
just
does it
says-
look like boobies, or
cups.
does it look like Madonna's cone things?
Neither.
Does it look like Lara Croft?
Send me a link. I want to see if it's the same one I have.
Okay, Yeah, sure.
Scott's got like
I
a
am
fucking
gonna need
Laura Croft mouse pad coffee maker.
Yeah.
You rest your
there.
wrist right between the boobs. You hold your coffee cup, and magically it fills. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, read us some of that when you have time. Obviously, no rush. I'm just curious if it's the same one. All right, so
No,
hey
I got
guys, thanks for jumping onto this session last second. Like we're
Mhm.
talking. Well, I want to say like maybe 11 Eastern. I was like, hey guys, crazy idea. You want to like hang out? And you guys were all like, no.
we were all
and-
like reluctantly like I guess.
And then I saw Messy, kind of like, guys, come on, he has no.
And then he copy and pasted our contracts, and he's like, "Well, actually,
I had to drive 50 minutes to go hang out with friends, just to drive 50 minutes after 2.5 hours to come back for this shit.
I mean, you're welcome. You get to hang out with us.
Recap.
Last session, more or less, you guys were already on the ship that you had that had been fucked up by the Alliance and the ensuing battle that happened prior. Like while you were off in a different part of space, engaging your own combat against the Warframes. Wade, deftly navigating and flying through the debris field, was able to pull you guys up and land onto the ship. Rena, the doctor with a stroke of genius and a bit of luck, was able to teleport into the ship itself and just open the door directly to where the person you were going after happened to be literally standing. You whooped some ass and were like, this ship's ours now. And after spending like 2 hours of upstairs, you were like, let's go downstairs. Oh, this place is going to blow up. No, I got this. Oh, crap, we're fighting. Oh, now it got smashed. It's actually going to blow up. Wade was like, I'm done with this life, and just did the whole like peace sign and started to fade away into space. And Messy tried to shoot him, but Rena yelled at him 100 times, out of game, 100 times, like real life. And eventually, after blowing himself up and stuff like that, was able to get onto the ship and fix everything. And Rena also got the big baddie too. As you were flying away and rejoining with your ship with Hemlock, you realized, okay, well, we're done. But before we hand this mother fluffer over, if we hand this mother fluffer over, we're going to want to talk to them first. We barely kept them alive. They had 2 out of 3 death saves. NPCs are supposed to die instantly, but obviously this is somebody of importance, so they got death saves. They had 2 out of 3 death saves, borderline dead, but Rena was able to save him, I think twice, or maybe Wade saved him the first time, Rena the second time. And now here you guys are, back on Hemlock's ship, over inside the sick bay, patching yourselves up. In case y'all aren't familiar with how it is that med bays work, is you have like 5d8 or something like that you can spend amongst the people that are using the med bay to like heal themselves, but that doesn't matter because we're out of combat for now. So your characters are over in the med bay, patching yourselves up, getting ready to want to go talk to the guy because you have him still, in stasis in the med bay with you. So he's like on a table. He's poisoned because of Messy, and that was totally picked up on the machines. It is a poison coursing through his veins, but nobody's owned up to it yet because we haven't jumped into RP. There's a poison coursing through his veins. There's currently like a drip going into his body to keep him okay and alive.
oh, he's got drip."
And there's a mild sedative just to make sure he doesn't wake up yet. But that sedative can be neutralized, and then he can be woken within like a couple minutes time as needed. So we're gonna go into the med bay. Everybody's getting patched up because y'all fucked up, especially Messy. And you're gonna have a conversation. And if you're ready, we can wake the guy up. You say like, okay, we're gonna wake up, and like a couple minutes later, he will. All right. So med bay. There's 1 medical drone kind of like flying around and tending to things. But overall, it's just the 4 of you, 1 med drone, and the guy unconscious on the table.
Do we know there's... Wait, I don't remember the poison in the veins thing. Do we know about that?
You don't know anything about that. Only one person out of game does. Out of game, you guys might know, but in game, only one person knows.
Okay. I don't remember that out of game or in game and being poisoned.
All good.
That was a specific person in this call.
Don't worry about it.
You can't do it to
Messy.
Pry, you're doing it to someone else. You sick fuck. I feel like now that we're in safety and this dude's unconscious, Graff might be feeling a little bit more detached than usual. Not that he's ever the social butterfly, but I I think he has a lot to reflect on because this was his first encounter with collectors, and it was kind of like the adrenaline rush of like get through the moment, lean on your training, and now that they're out of it, it's kind of like holy shit, this is what I was searching for half my life at this point. So he's probably kind of reflecting and out of it, I imagine. So he
I'm not
probably
gonna
will not be able
lie.
to initiate conversation.
Strix probably wouldn't really care. I know this is like our main mission, but like, what was it? Frait was the one that really wanted to talk to this guy. Meanwhile, Strix just went through quite an ordeal, failing, but trying really hard to get a warhead and a giant weird religious console back to the ship. So he's probably going to be still looking that over. Have we had time? How much time has elapsed?
I mean, at this point in time, let's say like where we're kicking in here, you guys have been. I mean, you're not going to have the warhead with you in the medical bay. That'd be foolish. You already disarmed
Oh,
it.
it's tucked into his bed sleeping.
I imagine I've already started to scrap it if I could.
I mean, sure, but don't like you have oodles. You have literally when the session's over, months to take care of that. So,
Yeah, I'm not worried
you've
about it.
already disarmed the thing. It's no longer a concern.
I'm wondering how much time has passed since
Since you
since
got
we
back
got-
onto the ship, you've probably been on the ship for 15 minutes. Small debriefing with Hemlock, and then you've come into the medical bay and you're patching yourselves up. And not back onto the shuttle. I saw your expression. Not back onto the shuttle. When the shuttle came back to this ship, outside of the debris field.
I do
So-
think if no one else is, go ahead, Ben, if you had something.
I was just gonna say we're all kind of gathered together, just patching ourselves up, right?
I do
yeah.
think there's be a moment when they get back on the ship pretty quickly. I imagine just for the sake of the moment, Graff would have grabbed a collector pistol or something, and I think he would have handed it to Gusty.
We got a rifle or something from them. Didn't
We do, but I'm saying because he didn't get to go in and fight the collectors, and that was important to him too. So I think he would have
Oh, yeah.
grabbed one of their just proof that they'd gotten a collector. So I imagine they would have come across some of their artifacts over time. So I think he would have a moment, at least with Gusty, where he would hand him one of like the broken collector guns or something, some relic of the show that they'd killed a collector of some kind. He probably wouldn't have many words, but he would hand it to him and probably look like he was on the verge of tears and just like nodded. I think that would be a moment Graff would have because he knows that Gusty was there for all of the things he went through back then with his family. And I imagine you all, it's pretty clear that Graff is like going through it right now mentally because I think rather than debrief or like continue the like, okay, what next? He's probably just like lost in himself.
I mean, I imagine we all thought that was going to be kind of an easy get on, get out kind of a thing, and we were there for a lot longer.
Sure, it was
than
a
we
tough
thought,
mission,
and-
but we've been through tough missions. This one was different for him.
Yeah, no, that's fair. If we're all just chilling in the med bay and this dude's kind of like around us and we're all just staring at him, I'm gonna look to Frait and be like, "What was that big thing you wanted to talk to him about?"
Well, it wasn't one particular thing, but kind of wanted to know. Well, now I want to know why he was with collectors.
When you
Seemed
say
like-
collectors, Graff will look up.
Seems like they were serving him somehow, and the weird religious like artifacts that we found in there alludes to perhaps a more organized group. I want to know more about that. Also, I want to know how he's alive.
I know about the Prothean from Shepard's crew, right? I forget what his name was.
Yeah. So it was known. His name might not be known to everybody.
Okay, that's fair.
But you're welcome to roll a history check. But definitely, you are welcome to people would know that there was a legend that a Prothean traveled with Shepard.
So
What'd you roll?
whenever
A 7.
Frait-
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
a 7
that's
is
fine.
not very high. Other people can roll as well. Like
Mine-
Rena was around during the Reaper War. Oh, never mind. She's not even the old character. Everybody can roll. Even Pat can roll because even though he was literally not born yet, he has heard stories.
I was
Everybody
gonna say,
can roll.
would I know?
I mean, Messi should roll with advantage because it's his fucking religion. What's up, Pat?
Would I know about collectors and stuff like that? Is that
Yeah,
common
yep.
knowledge?
I mean, yeah, common enough that humans believed that they were
Stories
being
and stuff
collected
like
by,
that. Like I
and
imagine
others
there's-
claimed it too, but humans mostly complained about it. You know, humans. Anybody else? You rolling Frait? I mean, Graff. I mean, Strix. Jesus Christ! Hey, you know the most. You know better than I know your name.
I just rolled normal, right?
Yes. All right. So, Messi, you definitely would have heard the story. I'll give it specifically to Messi. That supposedly a Prothean had woken up beforehand and had traveled with the shepherd fella, and the crew, that I say fella, but the shepherd person, and the crew that traveled with Shepherd to fight against the Reapers, and gave the opportunity for the galaxy to do as well as it has since then. There's rumors that a Prothean went with it. Pat, you know this. There was a Prothean by the name of Javik. Javik wasn't just any Prothean. He was one of the highest ranking Protheans, one of the ones that should he have woken up, it was his responsibility to recollect the Empire under his will. The Empire, he was given like hundreds, if not thousands of soldiers. He was given scientists and specialists and so on. He was given slaves and everything to make sure that when he awoken, he was, after the cycle was over, he was going to be recreate the Prothean Empire. He was a significant person, extremely powerful.
Was he
Moreover,
considered like a good guy, bad guy, neutral.
if you were to choose Paragon or Renegade, you would say very renegade, because in his mind, ends justifies the means. He doesn't care the means. Ends justifies the means. If you have to kill 10 million, whatever to beat one Reaper, let them 10 million die. It's worth the sacrifice. One less Reaper. Let's go. People have babies. And so that is like his approach, and justifies the means. Not a good person.
Okay.
Not evil, just not good. All right, cool. That's what you were able to know.
Vegeta
about
during the Namek saga.
Can we just... I know you just gave him that info. I don't want him to forget, but in meta here, we know that the Alliance was targeting that group of ships because of our intel, but that they had stayed and kept firing after they destroyed most of the ships because I guess something was still in there that they wanted to get rid of.
Yeah, the thing that
they didn't mention...
the thing you landed on.
Yeah, they didn't mention any specific knowledge about this Prothean, right? They didn't have any knowledge about this guy being there because they thought he was already gone from
Not that
our
we
intel
know of,
before.
at least.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
it wasn't known that he was there. No, you guys discovered that.
Okay, just checking.
Yep, to be clear, you discovered that. If that's what you were asking, I'm sorry.
Well, did they assume he was dead? Because we assumed he was dead, and I'm assuming that intel got out.
It was across the board. It was an unknown, and the way the
Okay.
military is going to approach it is until it's confirmed, it's not done yet.
The cold case kind
Did-
of a thing.
Did they know there was even a Prothean leading it? Because I think we thought it was Hanar.
No. You guys were told that they worshipped the Prothean or whatever forever ago, like many sessions ago. And if you shared that information, then they knew it.
I don't know that I did.
Okay.
I
then they did
was
know
more
it.
focused on militarily what they were doing with the creating things, less about their history. It was like it's a Hanar cult. He wouldn't have gone into specifics about that because I don't know. I don't remember him mentioning anything about the Prothean stuff. So, if they know, they know. But I don't think Graff knows if they know because I don't think he would have said that to them.
Okay.
Okay.
Just checking.
So when you mentioned the collectors and the Prothean, I think Graff would speak up unless Strix does right away and just say something about I mean, he's not the first. Shepherd apparently ran with one years ago too, from what I recollect. Don't know much about it, but
I'm sorry, Scott. Would I know of this shepherd? When he just says shepherd, would that be? would this be
I've answered this
common
question a
knowledge?
bunch of times. Everybody knows
I
of
don't.
Shepherd.
Okay, I don't remember. him.
Everybody, like, the only reason why you're alive is because Shepherd cured their progenophage. The only reason why the galaxy wasn't destroyed by Reapers is because Shepherd stopped the galaxy from being destroyed by Reapers. Everybody knows about Shepherd. What your opinion is of Shepherd is a different conversation, and I can't tell you what that is. But everybody knows, like, the name Shepherd is known by 99.99% of everybody in the galaxy. It is just,
Okay.
yeah, it is like, you know, it's
Just
the
wanna
name.
make sure.
You're good.
Well, I
So do you
doubt that
speak-
Prothean is this one.
No, I wouldn't expect so. I'm just saying that as uncommon as it is, it's not the first. Though he could be the second for all I know. Could be the 500th. It's hard to say, but it's not. It's not something you hear about except for the rumors of what happened with Shepard years ago. So, I mean, the collectors. I don't know what the connection is. Guess we can ask him.
Strix, did you manage to get anything from that tablet?
It's going to require more time for me to fix. It does look intact enough to where I can, given enough time, we'll be able to get stuff off of it.
You were able to read some of it before you disconnected it, right?
Correct.
Can you
Before I was interrupted.
enlighten me in the kind of doctrine it possessed?
It was more of just lessons on living life. At least the chapters I was going through. There seemed to be a number of chapters. For hell's sake, dude, why is my camera doing this again?
Strix, you've
You see-
turned invisible.
There seems to be a number of chapters that just go over living life to the fullest. I believe that's what it was. What the?
That was so fast. Interesting.
Saying that my camera's. Sorry.
Seems like an odd thing to have in possession with collectors at your side.
Frait, I know the time on the Prothean station kind of skewed your perspective a bit on how you felt about, your religion and all that. But gotta be surreal seeing a Prothean in the flesh. I mean, it was surreal seeing collectors in the flesh after years and years of trying to. But
I'm struggling with the knowledge that a Prothean could be a heretic. But perhaps when we awaken him, he'll be able to enlighten us.
I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say Protheans were just people back in the day. They're probably good ones, bad ones, all that shit. I mean, gods to you maybe, but to me, just a overall failed group who the Reapers mostly wiped out, like we should have been.
Is Hemlock present?
There is a medical drone that's present. Hemlock themselves don't seem to be.
Is the medical drone tending to the Prothean?
All of you, technically.
Oh, okay. To the medical drone, then, Frait would say. You think you can revive him? We can ask him what we need to.
You said it's a medical drone, and it just got replies affirmative, and then just informs you they will be waking in 4 minutes time, approximately 4 minutes time, and they go over and they change the mixed chemicals inside their system to try to neutralize the sedative, and then try to stimulate them waking up.
I'm assuming we took his stuff away, right? We patted him down pretty good. Was he wearing armor?
I mean, I said it was very light bits of armor. It wasn't much at all because they are themselves pretty strong. And I imagine you're not worried about the armor per se, but you
We
definitely
know
would
he
take away
has
weapons or
biotic
anything.
powers.
You know he has.
He was biotically punching and stuff, so we know he's got some capabilities.
Yep.
So he is a weapon.
So we have him restrained in some way?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know. Cool.
Which I
Yeah,
imagine
not
we would have let
restraining.
Hemlock know that he was biotic. So if Hemlock knows any better ways to restrain biotics, we would have passed that on. But who knows?
Hemlock would inform you that bullets work best.
Yeah, but you can't shoot non-lethally unless it's at your friends floating in space.
Oh,
Then it's just to
that's-
help them.
It's not lethal. Would have been funny if you critical hit Wade, and like now he's just unconscious. So like,
I wouldn't have done that. You know I
Oh.
wouldn't have done that. Here, let's try.
Hmm.
By the way, I'm doing sharpshooter so I can get my sneak attack. Messi hides and does sharpshooter.
No, I wouldn't have hide. See, look, it does like no damage. Look. Okay, that was max. How scary.
It doesn't do any damage.
Two damage after your shields break. Come on, that's
My shields
nothing.
were down from when I blew myself up with a grenade.
Well, you wouldn't have blown yourself up with a grenade if you would have just let me shot you from the beginning.
I can't let you do
Okay.
anything. I'm floating in space fighting for my life, man.
you also couldn't have
You
used
just
your
have to-
pistol. It's too short of range.
Huh?
You also could not have used your pistol. It's too short of range.
Oh, the pistol's too short?
Yeah, you
what
would
about
want
with
to use a
sharpshooter?
sniper rifle with a
So
scope.
I knew sharpshooter was coming.
No, I
Like-
don't have to use sharpshooter. Sharpshooter just lets me shoot out to my max range.
But remember, I said he was a couple hundred meters away.
What's the pistol's max range?
72
72.
meters, less than 100. All right, back to game.
Oh.
So instead of the stupid plan from last week, so you triggered to wake him up. Any other RP? It sounded like you're in the middle of saying something messy, Wade. Until
Is Gusty here?
Gusty did land on the ship. He's in fine condition, but considering that everything's going on, he's going to help with piloting. If
He's
you
not
need
gonna
him
be
for
here to-
conversation, he'll join you. I'm sorry, Wade.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought he'd be in here to see the Prothean wake up.
I mean, if you call him in, he'll come in, but he's just an NPC, so I'll have him on the out of
For the sake
way.
of the flavor, I mean, Graff would.
Okay, yeah, then absolutely. If you're like, kind of call over like Gusty, where waking it up, you might want to get here. He'd come very quickly. Show up like a minute and a half later or whatever.
Before it wakes up, I think, I don't know. I assume that there's nothing Graff knows about Strix or Larrea having any issues with collectors or Protheans specifically, but I think continuing his conversation with Frait, Graff would say, look, I don't know about you, Frait, but I'm kind of losing the forest through the trees at the moment with everything that's been going on. No matter what this guy says, it's important that we try to get as much intel as we can and we don't let our emotions get the best of us. And it's very difficult for me right now. Thank God it's a Prothean and not a collector, but for you, depending on what he has to say, just try not to lose your cool. It's difficult when you're faced with things that change the entire outlook of your life. But if he says something you don't like and it gets real personal, step away if you have to, but try not to kill the guy.
I can keep my cool.
We all think that.
Hmm.
We all do until we don't.
Well, I've yet to falter.
If it was a collector laying on that table and I asked it a question about what happened to my family and he said he was there, I'd probably falter.
Well, it's not.
No, but for everything that your life's been, who knows? I'm just saying in case, fuck it. Jesus.
He nods. Holy shit, I'm a mod again. It's the best day of my life.
Gusty will walk in the door. It's not awake yet, but he says, "Is he awake? Or is it awake?" He said.
Couple minutes.
Yeah.
Do you believe we're seeing one in the flesh?
Truth. Me, my first.
Oh.
The other one was a little bit more cold, though.
Oh.
Where?
Well, this one and I got into a fucking fist fight. They'll show him like a bruise on his face where they were beating the shit out of each other in melee.
Yeah, he's like, no. It's seeing one alive. That's unique. But looking over to Freight, he says, classified. Jobs go. But to keep it short, we went into an area. we found a cache. There were a few of them, like popsicles. Even tried to thaw them out, see if there was any intel we can get from them before we went deeper. They're all rotted.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, we'd heard that a lot of the life pods and stuff hadn't worked. That's why it was so rare to find a living one. But every now and then, one of them either wasn't damaged or worked right, or who the fuck knows, I guess. I guess we can ask this guy how he survived. Who knows if he'll give us the answers we want, though, but,
Or if he even speaks our language.
Well, I mean, we have translators, right? Doesn't that work?
They take time.
Oh.
how many people
This
are
language
fluent
is
in
unknown.
fucking Prothean? He was communicating with the... I mean, there were signs of what? Fucking Asari and shit on that ship. Obviously, collectors, which probably speak Prothean, but they were communicating with Vorcha, the Hanar, and Drell and shit. So if they were taking orders from him, clearly he speaks more than just one language, or somehow they were translating it or something.
I intercepted a signal from him, but there might have been a translation in process.
Pat, you know with your 20 that you rolled earlier, that, you know, the last little tidbit I'll give you about what you knew about Javik earlier, is that Protheans, when they touch someone, they can learn enough about that person to communicate with them. So as long as he's touched people that speak the same language as you, he learns that language and can translate and can speak through it. Fortunately, you don't think he necessarily has to touch you, because if he's touched other people and learned their languages, he'd be able to say enough that your translators will take over from there. But if there does seem to be some sort of a hang up, you can let him get his fingers on you.
From what I've heard about them, simply just touching them allows them. Him touching you allows him to understand your language. So I don't think that'll be much of an issue.
Well, then if a knot or a left hook works, then the doc and I have both laid hands on this fuck, so we should be able to speak our language.
In theory.
You don't mean he would intrinsically learn about your history. You mean he would just learn how to speak to you mentally or something? Not like he knows Graff's entire backstory now, right?
Well, he didn't shed a tear, so if he does, he doesn't have a heart. Don't have to open him up to figure that shit out.
Well, according to Gusty, they probably already have. Probably got several hearts on ice. Is he
Strix,
awake
do you
yet?
know enough to answer his question?
You asking me?
That's what Freight was asking you.
I thought you were asking Gusty. I'm sorry. Again, just simply touching you I believe you should just physically know how to speak your language. So I don't think it'll be much of an issue.
He asked you if specifically if you probably don't know this, but Scott can tell you if you
Yes.
know
I
if
don't-
touching you would reveal like all of your history or just enough information to communicate.
They can dive. It's believed that let me rephrase this, Pat. It's believed they have abilities similar to the Asari, and the Asari have abilities that they can dig into some people's minds. So you don't know, like that's beyond what you know. You just know that they have
Okay.
abilities similar to Asari, so it's a maybe.
There are rumors that they possess qualities like an Asari, but I don't know. These are just rumors I've heard around the junkyard. Fun things to pass the time.
Well, they
So
sorry
we
don't
have to
do it so
assume-
easily.
If we give him a big fucking hug, then he knows our favorite titty to suck on when we were a goddamn infant. Great.
A little bit specific, but I guess.
Interesting thought.
I don't know, just a fucking expression. So he knows
No,
personal
I
shit.
get it.
It's a very weird expression.
Not a comment.
I-
Just fucking. I was just saying he knows shit about us. We
I
might not
understand
even
the
remember
intention.
about ourselves.
Very strange. I don't.
I
Anyway,
think I see his 4 eyes blinking. How many eyes do Protheans have? 4?
At least 2.
6?
I know
don't
this.
4?
At least 2.
Scotty's awake now.
If you guys are good, I just don't want to interrupt your chatter.
Dude, you said that, and I got such like PTSD of my son waking up.
It's also like I don't think I heard a single word from Larrea, so I don't know if like she's just playing on like you guys are over there talking and she's like sitting on her own medical bed, like knees pulled up, has a tablet out, and she's like keeping notes or doing like her own little things, like do. You guys,
she's
like,
not getting a
collectors, this, that, and the
participation
other thing, and
trophy.
she's like doodling. What?
I said she didn't earn a participation trophy from this interaction.
Yeah.
I wasn't really looking for one.
God
Damn.
damn.
But yeah, I mean, she's probably honestly, she probably would be taking some notes just so she could remember. She's not seen a Prothean before, so this is all new to her. It's not far-fetched that she would be writing some things down, sketching something out, honestly. But no, she wouldn't have anything to contribute to that conversation. She's interested in what he has to say, so she's just gonna listen for now.
Yeah, all good. So he's going to he's going to start coming to. He's going to start awakening. So how do you guys react to this? Does everybody surrounds the bed? Does everybody have like omni bleeds out? Everybody have guns out? Like how are we handling the fact that he's in a bed?
I don't know that we
Get into
have
it.
weapons drawn. We probably have like a hand on a holster, and we probably are all gathered around. I mean, this isn't something you get
He's
to
also
witness.
restrained too, so it's not like we took the restraints off.
Correct.
Plus, there's literally 5 of us in here.
So are you like surrounding the bed or
I
like,
imagine we would. Who doesn't want to see a Prothean
Yeah.
alive and awake? Like that's, even if it's not like a polite thing to do, I imagine you can't. Curiosity from some legendary beings from hundreds of years ago. You don't just
See, I don't know if Strix would really care.
You can
Yeah,
stand back.
I wouldn't crowd.
That's the
area.
main thing, is just crowding him. I think Strix would probably be a distance away, close enough to see the action and all that, but I don't think I would be right up in his face like you guys all are. I'm taller than you guys and I can see over you anyway, but I mean, like, I'm not gonna be all up in his face.
So
be close.
you're gonna be nearby, so on and so forth. Wade's gonna be up nice and close. Gusty's actually just gonna stand like just behind Graff's shoulder. So I think Graff is right-handed, so he's gonna stand just behind Graff's right shoulder, just in case, like, he's just like one of those I got my friend's back, but at the same time, I get his back if he does something foolish. So he's like standing right there.
I will say I'll be standing not in like a menacing pose, but I'll definitely just kind of be like laying or like kind of leaning on the hilt of my hammer.
Okay.
I imagine I just carry it around with me anyway, but I mean, like, I'm not trying to impose that I'm gonna smack him, but it is ready if I need it to be.
So as a reminder for Protheans, actually I think I have an image if it helps you guys at all, just to see what like a Prothean looks like. There's actually an image of Javik. So let me shift Z. If this helps you
The
at all.
exact person that we see in front of us,
Not
right?
a particularly large image.
Not the same person, just same species.
Here, let me do Prothean.
Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Maybe it is Javik. I don't think it is, but
No. It's not specifically going to be Javik. But here, I'm going to give you another picture of Javik just so you guys have like an image to look at. I'm going to post this inside of Mass Effect spoilers chat in LI Discord, just so we have an image to work off of. And so it's important to note that like Protheans themselves, they have 4 eyes, and each of their eyes are double pupiled. They have several nostrils that come like, from the ridges around their head. They do have some fairly sharp teeth because they are in fact predators. They're carnivores. They don't really do much by way of vegetation. They are a kind of a strange looking species. Anyways, so looking at them, you can see that the 4 eyes are slowly starting to open as each one of them are starting to like gather the light around. I can speak first, but I didn't know if one of your characters wanted to interact first.
Again, I'm more just observing, so I don't think Strix would.
Yeah, I'll be observing for now too.
I think Frait would probably open, and he'd say,
Mind you, before you speak,
say,
Bessie, just as a reminder,
Yeah.
I'm not going to
What?
put words in your mouth. You play your character, but you did spend your entire life like your character's a religious character. This
This is like a
species is your
deity,
god.
right? Yeah, I was
Like-
gonna say, this is like a deity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this person is. Like, you play yourself,
Yeah.
but the species was your god. All right, I'm sorry. You roleplay
Yeah.
yourself. You're going to open.
He'll say, I don't know if you can understand me, but take it easy.
Oh,
You're restrained.
You say so you say that as it blinks too and starts to like properly speak, take in the room. He looks over at you first, kind of like you could see his eyes boring into you first. Messy, Messy, do me a favor. Go ahead and roll me an insights check.
Okay.
It's wisdom based.
What?
so.
What?
Oh no,
what,
never mind. Not an
normal?
insight check. My apologies. A charisma save.
Oh, that's way different.
Yeah, my apologies.
Normal?
Normal
Well-
charisma save, yes, sir.
Ugh. What terrible thing happens to me?
This is
This is going so well.
all right. So Messy, you so you take make your charisma save, and when
Hello,
you
Lord God, I'm so happy to see you.
when you see him and his eyes bore into you, all of the lessons, everything that made you who you were before, like all of the upbringing, it just kind of like washes over you, like just like a wave of just like fervor and your struggle against it. The scenario. It's just I'm not saying that your character is necessarily feared or charmed, but it's walking the path of those two things right there, where you're just like, ooh, and you kind of like you're doubting yourself. You're doubting whether or not you did the right thing. You're doubting whether or not like should I actually help him out? Should I be like arguing his case for him? You have this like huge wave of emotions, and I want to be clear: this isn't like indoctrination or anything. This is just you are effectively seeing one of your deities piercing vision into your eyes, and it is having its impact. Okay, but no actual like magic involved, if you will. All right, so his eyes look at you, his four eyes look at you, and they bore into you, and you can just see this animalistic, this feral nature but the sharp intelligence behind it that like bores into you. And when you like start to collapse, like I imagine like literally look down and away, like, ooh, you won that test of wills. You look down and away. Once that happens, he's like almost like a click of his like a click of his lips or a sucking on his teeth. And then he's gonna turn and he's gonna look around and analyze the rest of you. Takes a couple of seconds, kind of taking in the whole group of you. Yes.
Do we all need this, or do we all see this happen? Like, kind of like this judgment, if you will.
Yeah. I'll let you roll an insight on this one. That's fine. And I'm gonna set the DC for you. I would say to notice Frait like collapse like that, it'd be a DC 13. If your passive insight's above that 13, you can just take it.
I think it'd be more fun to roll for it because there's a lot
because
going on in
the
this
passive
room.
makes sense in this scenario.
I don't know that I would notice that.
I already was worried about you, so it makes sense that
I'm observing, so
see you change your demeanor.
Yep. So we'll say that Rena and Gusty don't realize, but Pat and Wade do recognize this happen. Either way, he's looking around and kind of like judging the scenario, and taking it in. Again, does anybody speak yet, or am
I think at this point, whenever Graff notices Frait kind of like look away or whatever, and then this guy's sizing us all up. Don't think about doing anything here. We've already taken you down once, along with everyone else on that fucking ship.
Primitives. Always surrounded by primitives. This cycle.
Yeah, well, this cycle won against the Reapers. Yours didn't. So, talk shit all you want, but
Yes, I heard. The Crucible. It was created by your people. It was used. But that is not truth. The Crucible was created by my people. And if stories of this shepherd are true, Shepherd also got guidance by our other creations. You may have won war off the backs of the giants that stood before you, and are before you now.
Sure, I guess. Yeah, we all learn and grow from each other. Kumbaya. Don't need to be a dick about it, I suppose. But what I will be a dick about is all the shit you were fucking pulling with these goddamn mechs and the Vorcha and all that shit. And I'll let everyone else have their piece, but I gotta know, why collectors?
You say why collectors?
You mean why I use these tools? Why I have collectors do jobs for me?
Yeah, they were the tools of the Reaper, and as much as you might think we're primitives and hate our asses, I would think you'd hate the fucking Reapers for wiping out your race a little bit more.
No. The collectors were the tools of the Reapers, what you call Reapers. You are correct on this. But when signals stop, controls stop, they are manipulable. That is me. They are malleable.
Rasa?
I was able to work with these simple creatures. They are, like yourself, primitive.
Yeah, you're good at the whole negative reinforcement shit. But why? Why are you spending your time, we saw the statue you had of yourself. You think you're high and mighty, that's great and all. But you're building ships with Vorcha being melted into them or whatever the fuck? Why? What's the end game? What's the point?
You attack, but don't understand why you attack. Ah, I understand. When people attack without knowledge, they are themselves, how does humans call? Pawns on chessboard. That is what you are. You have a hand that tells you where to move, and you may move one step, or you may sidestep, and that is all. You stepped side and well. Good job. But this game is not over.
Thanks. But yeah, I mean, I'm a soldier. I don't proclaim to be a god or a leader or anything like that. I just fucking do my job. And when I get pointed the direction of a bad guy doing bad shit, yeah, we go clean it up. So I don't really take that as an insult, but thanks. I probably need a minute to think of another question if I'm being honest, gang. So y'all want to take off your...
So let us not waste any more time. Which faction of your primitive culture am I being bartered off to? Is it this alliance? You reek of alliance. There
Yeah,
is
I was.
human phrase, stick up ass.
A lot of them do, yeah. I don't think the alliance is getting you. No, we're gonna try to get some info from you. Then I think we're sending you to the music industry. It's
You're gonna be
I don't know what faction Hemlock's a part of.
Oh, honestly, insight check on that one. You guys say music, and y'all can roll insight check on that one.
That's
He's trying to be
hilarious.
stoic, but
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty solid. Oh my god.
Am I rolling it too?
Yeah. Every,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm the one who said it, so I figured I don't.
Oh no,
fucking
yeah.
know.
Everybody.
Oh hell yeah! I'm glad I don't know. It makes sense.
All right, so we'll say Rena
He's really
and Pat,
excited to be there.
that's Larrea and Strix. Both of you guys are like that one threw him off. Like that one actually confused. He's actually like, wait, what? Like he's
throwing a
confused.
curveball. He doesn't know what's going on.
You're gonna be a star.
You're going to the K-pop stands.
We got a fucking AI and a Prothean doing a duet. It's gonna be beautiful.
Be flossing by morning. No, so
We're gonna have you making Fortnite dances in the Fortnite.
all right. Oh wow. I just got that after you're funny. All right, moving on. Cool. The musician is secretly the best class. Oh God, no.
What's his
Alright.
response to the music industry? I have to know.
Yeah. So you say the music industry. He just looks at you, and his eyes don't blink simultaneously. He has 4 eyes; they don't blink simultaneously because that's inefficient. You have to always be able to keep an eye on your prey. His eyes just like take a few moments, and they each blink, and then he just doesn't respond, and then he'll turn and look to another one. He'll actually look to Strix, just straight on, not looking at you anymore, just because that made no sense.
I mean, it's true, kind of. He's fishing.
So he looks to Strix. Does Strix say anything, or am I gonna start up?
He looks to me for just what insight or like talking or
Like he's definitely he's like analyzing you.
You're well aware that this low life. He said low life or primitive.
Primitive.
What was
Yeah. You guys are all primitive to him.
You realize this primitive being, kind of like gesturing to like Frait, worships you as like a god, right? You pass judgment on him so carelessly, it's like you don't even appreciate the praise that he devotes to you.
Well, thanks for the introduction.
I figured you weren't doing it. Is this how I looked in front of Hemlock? Was it worse than this?
Yeah, it was much worse.
Pretty cringy, if you
You
ask
basically
me.
were wearing a cheerleading outfit. At least Freight's got some decorum.
I mean, I'm at least excited to see my deity life in person. Here he is laying in a bed, and you can't even talk to him.
Well, your deity's not real.
You're right. He's part of me.
I feel like, guys, we need to... Whatever the fuck this is, we should probably get back on point a little bit.
What can we call you, Prothean?
I am the one.
Yeah, great. But, like, a name. We're not gonna... We don't... I mean, he might put in Freight, but the rest of us don't really worship you. Like, I'll call you asshole, son of a bitch, call you Bob, whatever the fuck, but I'm not calling you the one.
Well, the one what?
I am the one.
You're not even the only Prothean.
Primitives are difficult. A small lesson for my disciple. We are avatars. We, the selected few, are avatars of concepts, ideologies.
So you're like the one of math or something? Is that why your number?
The one.
I
Right.
guess we don't really understand the significance of that title.
And it is not for the primitives to understand, just to kneel, just
Oh,
to
Jesus, man.
worship.
Very-
You've had too many yes men in your lives. Life, whatever. I don't know how you... I assume you were on ice for a while or something, right? Like, you're not the one who's just been strutting around for 500 years. So,
You know, to
I-
rescue off of that ship was a lot off my back. As you can see, I need my hammer to just kind of keep me upright. Maybe I can kneel a different day. Almost
Strix
kind of
won't
like mocking
kneel.
him.
He's not going to kneel. Look, we're not all yes men here, so we're not going to be worshiping you or anything like that. You're more like a museum artifact. It's like cool to see you and you talk and shit, but like, I ain't going to be bowing. I just killed a whole bunch of fucking people I needed to get off my back from some shit I went through. And I've dealt with a lot of the sons of bitches over the years, and you kind of come off like one. You're not really the most like cordial, which I guess is fair. You've been through a lot, but kneeling really ain't my fucking thing.
It is funny. As child, I watched videos of a planet you call Earth, and chattering of little hairy, what you call monkeys. You are not so different still after the hundreds of thousands of years. Still chatter. Still
Yeah.
monkey.
The hair doesn't stick up here for me, at least as much as it used to, but I still got it in other places. I ain't the best at chattering, though. There's people better than
Maybe we
me.
could get back on track, Graff.
Well, I mean, I was just acknowledging his hairy comment. I'm bald.
Yeah.
Strix is gonna mutter under
Unfortunately-
his breath. The fuck is a monkey?
Imagine me with just all fur and a tail.
Okay.
A little smaller.
Hmm.
Point being, though, like, we ain't bowing and shit, and you might have known what our evolutionary line looked like, but
Let's
clearly
move
become a
on.
little bit of a way. I just beat you in a fucking fist fight a little bit ago. So, like,
Graff, let's move on.
yeah, go ahead. Talk to your god.
Sorry about them. I guess I'm trying to figure out whose side you're on. The one?
You say whose side like there are two sides. Like there is a division.
I mean, ultimately, we're all trying to finish the Reaper War. We're in seemingly the final stages. But there are some that still go for their own personal gain. I just need to find out what cause you're after.
Perhaps one day you will find out. You have a spark. You will learn. Or you will die. Now, who is bidding? Who is paying this music?
A robot. He's in another room.
An AI? You work with artificial intelligence.
We're mercenaries, so like we do now, but typically no. We just kind of go after bad sons of bitches who do bad things. And you came on the list, so we crossed you off. Nothing personal.
I think I would prefer my time with the Alliance. Or perhaps with the Hanar. Bring me to
Yeah,
the
I think you had your
Krogan.
time with the Hanar. We're not going to pass you back that way, but maybe when the robot's done, he can get you some beachfront
Well,
property or something. I don't fucking know.
I am a bit of a loss. We did find references to more than just collectors on your ship. I guess I'm trying to find out how you came in contact with others and yet seem to be still acting independently. And
Yeah, we
the weird
found the remnants of
self-help
other
book.
Drell. The Drell and Asari and shit, and then yeah, like Frait saying the good question, Frait.
There are those that sleep, and there are those that are awakened. Again, you will either awaken or you will die in your sleep. Now, bring me to this artificial intelligence, if it has not
Please.
already been compromised by the remaining Reapers.
He'll
So you know
come
about
in
the
whenever
Reaper's influence.
he's ready. You're not
Are
really in
the-
a place to be making demands tied up on the table either, so like we'll bring you when we're done.
And you're not in a place to make demands with a tight leash round your neck.
Uh,
You'll just hear Strix kind of like sigh heavily.
do we ever get to fucking talk to one of these assholes that isn't all mysterious and holier than thou? Because this feels like a fucking trend at this point.
You Gusty just kind of chimes in at this point and goes, maybe there's a reason why they're all dead.
Ugh. Jesus. Well, you fit in well with a lot of the people we've gotten to pleasure. I'll think of some more questions for you since you're kind of being all mysterious and better than me
Sorry.
answers.
The one,
Oh.
you seem to have in your workshops a significant amount of Reaper technology, yet the way you just spoke, it seemed you referenced that the influence of these artifacts can change people. Are you not worried about that effect on the things you create?
You are observant. That is good point. I will reward this with an answer. No. If you can isolate out the corrupting code and neutralize it, the signal will not be emitted. You will be able to use safely. It is, in fact, simply a signal that is emitted from it. It is not as though the very metals they use are what exude this indoctrination.
We know there's shielding technology to block out this signal. Are you saying there's a way to permanently neutralize it, or are you just shielding it while you're working on it and the technology by itself stays dangerous?
You are less bright. Allow me to keep simple.
Yeah, that'd be best, I guess. Thank you. Fuck you. I don't know which. Go on.
Put powerful magnet on computer. Corrupts computer. That is what is done.
But this is corrupting all things. Like radioactive materials almost. Doesn't seem to have any kind of discernment in what it touches.
But there are processes to expedite the half-life of radioactive materials.
You want to share with the class how you do it?
No.
I figured. That's fair.
We've already got some intel on that, Graff. We just haven't
yeah, I
put
know
all the
we got-
pieces
but-
together yet.
If they've got another way of doing it, it could be useful is all.
The one I've got a sinking suspicion that we might not be on opposite sides. Maybe not in the long run. But
Oh boy.
there seems to be a lot of hostility. And the machines you make are deadly and dangerous to our allies.
And he's working with the fucking type of people that liquefied my goddamn family. You know, that's a little personal. Frait.
Yeah, but he said they were lost. They weren't under control anymore. So we took them over and used them like we do with AI. No offense,
When
Hemlock.
the Reapers were disconnected, when their signal was disrupted, it was a surge of energy that destroyed almost all of these collectors, dropped dead, almost to the last one. A few thousand across the galaxy remained, as far as I understand.
So I got more fucking work to do. I'll spit on the ground.
The remaining ones, they are simple creatures, little more than insects, but they are not what you have your gripe with. This is human nature, even worse than Krogan. You find a grudge, and you don't let go.
Yeah, I'll just accept that one.
It will be your downfall.
Maybe so, but while I won't worship you per se, like to think maybe one day I'll see my wife and daughter again when that time comes. So if it comes sooner than later, fucking let it. But in the meantime, I got shit to do.
He actually gives you a different expression than one that he's given so far. You're welcome to roll an insight if you would like. Because again, you're not familiar with Prothean expressions. You have to roll each time to try to understand. Actually, Wade, you get it almost immediately. You realize his expression against you softens. Like it actually, like, he softens his expression when you say that. And then he says,
You do have faith. Good.
I guess we all gotta believe in something.
it doesn't respond to that. Does anybody else chime in with anything else? If not, I can push out the next bit.
I
don't
think
think I
Frait would just kind of go silent but keep staring. Like almost unable to look away.
Cool. If nobody says anything, He pushes out and says,
Then, it looks as though each of you are licking your wounds, but you will survive. Warriors in your own right. You are fortunate that I had already crashed multiple times prior to that fight. When we meet again, you better hope that the side that you're on is in alliance. Otherwise, this will not repeat itself.
he says as he pulls on his restraints that he has there.
Bring this machine. You will not harm me further, and I will not be held captive long. Let us not waste anybody else's time. There is work to be done.
Yeah, I'll go get Hemlock. But for the record, I stubbed my toe and I slept poorly the night before, so like I could have been better too.
Yeah, I heard him coughing on the shuttle there.
I'm gonna say Gusty like legit starts laughing.
As you go to get Hemlock, Frait will actually approach Larrea and whisper to her and say, you think there's any chance you could get a DNA sample?
She
Rena, you actually would know.
probably.
You would actually know. You can respond without even having to look or test it. No checks. You know that one would have already been collected by the bot earlier with the when you occasionally looked up from your tablet or whatever you were doing when you saw it doing whatever it was doing earlier. Okay, so you would know one's already been collected. Continue.
Oh, okay.
All
Wait,
you-
specifically for us or just that
Mm,
one
just
exists?
I
as
mean,
like
just in
a-
general, but
yeah,
I
it's
could
like-
probably access it. Is like what he's
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. You could easily ask for a copy of it. Hemlock's not going to give you a hard time over that.
Yeah.
You were saying something, Pat?
No, I was just saying. I imagine it was just kind of like as soon as he was as soon as he was delivered, we probably got like a thing from it, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's hooked up to like IVs and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can easily get your hands on that data. Rena, go ahead. You can respond to Messy.
She'd just say that's taken care of.
A live sample?
I guess I could just look it up on the tablet, unless I'd have to ask Hemlock first.
He's asking for like something physical.
Oh, a physical?
Here, can you pee in this cup, please? Your devoted follower would like it.
Well,
You sign it as well.
Sorry, if
Puts
you're
on the
not just trying to
glove.
get a copy of data, if you're trying to actually like have like a bit of blood, that you would actually have to physically do. Like, but if you're just trying to get a copy of like, oh, DNA scan, all that kind of shit, no problem. You just no checks. But if you actually want to get something like that, you have to go over to a computer. You have to either ask the bots to do it or actually go over and start doing it yourself, Rena.
Basically, Freight wants to get some DNA to start a cloning process so we can bring the Protheans back and have an army of Protheans. You can have the ones,
Seems like a
plural.
bad idea.
It's definitely not to check for Reaper influence later on. It's definitely for cloning.
Did we have a
mean-
way to check for Reaper influence?
Yeah,
I thought
Hemlock.
we had.
Hemlock does,
we-
and probably would have checked that already.
He does, but I think there was some caveat with it. I don't remember what.
It's
But
actually
I want to run sample.
it's actually, if you remember, Rena's was the one that she didn't invent it herself. She was part of like a team of people that did research to check on indoctrination, and so that she has a means of testing this. And so he was using her means, and that's like has what did we say that like several sessions ago it was like 92% accuracy or whatever it was.
Right.
So it's not
better
infallible,
accuracy.
but it's a really high percentage chance of accuracy. The issue is that how many Prothean brain waves have been scanned before to know the differentiation between that and this? Fortunately, the way that everybody's brains get affected by Reaper technology is pretty similar. It's fairly uniform. So if they do a scan, it would be able to pick up likely those same signals, likely, but you don't know that for a fact.
Okay,
So it was one of those
you're
scans
saying-
been
Rena
done yet?
can do that test though. She can. That would be a check again, but she can do that test without
Mhm.
even having to touch him. She could just more or less stand next
Okay.
to him and just start scanning.
So you're saying we don't need to take his blood and test that? We could just do like brain scans,
Yeah,
basically.
it's not
remotely.
in the blood. It's in the brain. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Then he'd say that. So when he sorry, going back, when you say that they have a DNA sample, he would say and a scan of the brain waves, that way we can make sure.
Oh, like understanding what you're saying now. Yeah, actually, I can just and I imagine she just stand up and go over, and just start doing that.
No. Rena, I believe what I had you roll beforehand for this was actually a science check to test for this.
Just normal.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Wow.
Really good.
That's, you crushed it 25. Did you want to push for a 30, or do you think that's entirely unnecessary?
I
25 is already
mean,
very hard.
I guess we can see if we have any. We
Oh,
don't.
apparently not. I actually didn't realize that. Hold on, I'm looking. Nobody gave any today. Yes, you have 0. Cool. Just
Good chat.
just the thing that that Rosin did earlier. That's all.
The what? What did Rosin do earlier?
Oh, that's,
Another Reaper. She was very happy about it.
Oh. Yeah.
She's bragging in chat.
Oh.
I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Well, Hemlock's gonna die for sure.
He's an AI. Was he ever really alive?
all right. So
He was.
where were we? So back to you guys. Sorry, Rena. With your 27, you go over there and you get a pretty solid scan of this thing. It's one of those, he watches you. As you go over and do the scan, I think Wade was walking out the door to go call Hemlock or whatever it was. You go over to get the scan. He looks at you, and it's one of those things where his head turns and looks at you, Rena. But then this is like weird fucking thing. So it's not just like the messy gif where he turns to look at you. But then the creepy part is, because if you look at the image of how their head is formed, as his head turns away, because he has 2 eyes on the side,
It still
one
see
of the
me.
one
Yeah.
back eye is staring directly at you, and the other one in your general direction, while the other eyes are still looking elsewhere. And it's just
I
like,
will note
"Ugh."
that I'm still wearing my helmet, just so you're aware.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. I imagine you were, because of the scary and da 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 da. So so I either way, your characters, it's one of those things where when you finally like look up from like what you're doing, you're like, as you like see
Yeah.
that. But either way, so you are able to where was I saying? Get a really good scan of this, and we can discuss what you discover later on after you have time to analyze it. Okay. But you were succeeded, hands down. You succeeded. Okay.
Cool. Yep.
At the highest tier.
He's like, I
Um,
gotta make sure this guy gets out of the room before Rena realizes that he is 100% Reaper possessed.
So Wade, you go and you call for Hemlock to come walking into the room. Yeah.
Yeah, I would basically just Hemlock, the one he calls himself, ready to talk to you. Apparently doesn't really like the music industry, so I wouldn't talk about that too much. That seemed to upset him.
So Hemlock will just kind of respond saying, I intend to speak with him, but not just yet. Perhaps he should be sedated some more for a while.
He does seem to think high and mighty of himself. He said, these restraints aren't going to hold me down for long. You should have caught me on a good day. So he thinks he can get out and take on anyone pretty easily. So I think heavy sedation might be for the best whenever we're not talking to him.
As soon as you're completed, just inform the drone inside the room with you, protocol Sleeping Beauty, and it will put him back down.
Yeah. I think for whatever questioning you have for him, we'd like to be here for that too. So if you don't mind us sitting in on your interrogation as well. Because he's not exactly been a chatty Cathy with us. Maybe you'll have more luck. Freight's
My
had more luck
interrogation
kissing
will
his
not
ass.
start for at least a few weeks' time.
Well, then I guess fucking videotape it. I don't give a fuck. I just want to know.
It's like there's actually a pause as Hemlock is processing your request, and then says, "Indeterminate."
Indeterminate? What do you mean indeterminate?
I
mean,
Let me
CGF side
retry.
row.
Record it, forward it to us. Thank you. Maybe videotape was the wrong word for you.
Still indeterminate. I have not decided if this is going to be a recorded endeavor.
Well, then I guess send us VIP tickets to the fucking front row.
Negative. That will not happen.
You are a son of a fucking bitch.
Don't worry, I'm a ticket holder.
And you were paid well. Thank you.
Yeah, leaving him with you wasn't part of that deal. We're doing that to be nice.
Are you bargaining for more compensation?
Depending on what you're offering, what I've really wanted was let me rephrase this, to be there for the interrogation.
I will offer the entire crew season passes for the next year. To
Only
any
Frait
and every
wants
show.
that. Your music's fine and all. I found a
how
few
do-
fucking beats
what do
catchy,
those
but
sell
no,
for?
rejected. You guys aren't here for
How-
this.
Holy
What does the
freight,
season
hold
pass
the
sell for,
fuck
though?
on.
Hold on.
What about Strix?
This is Hemlock, dude. This is like the Drake of Mass Effect.
You guys aren't here for this. You stay out of this. -1.
Mm.
No, I don't want your fucking season tickets. This is kind of important shit. One, he might know alternative methods for neutralizing Reaper tech that might be slightly different than what we've come across. Two, he's a goddamn Prothean, and it's not every fucking day you get to talk to one of them. And three, we put our asses on the line for a whole lot of shit, all of it being basically to your benefit. And yes, we're being compensated well, and I'm not disputing that fact, but we want this goddamn intel.
We will skip over number 1. Number 2, enjoy it while it lasts. And during that time, you can satisfy number 3.
Then just forward us the fucking intel without it being recorded. Whatever he gives you that's useful, not determined by you, but by us. I don't care if his third daughter's name was Sarah, but if he says something that's actually fucking possibly useful to us in any way, I would like that intel forwarded along. I don't care if you have to cut his fucking leg off to do it, you don't want us to see the messy bits. I just want to fucking know.
This can be done.
That is still not really a confirmation. The word can means something different to me. Will be done is
Confirmation?
more
Intel will be sent your way.
all of it.
The intel that you have interest in will be sent your way.
I am a very fucking intrigued person who likes a lot of things. So if I'm interested, oh God, am I interested in everything?
Understood. But there are things that I have interest in that you will not.
I really fucking hate you, for the record. If it's not been made clear, you suck.
It's not my fault. I'm from Cleveland.
The amount of fucking human knowledge you have is
I had no
unsettling.
idea he was from Cleveland. Wikipedia.
So, Graff will walk back in hemlockless and looking surprisingly more pissed off than he did talking to the one. Sorry, Sunshine. The bot's got an oil leak right now. He'll be in at his convenience, apparently.
So you said it to him. Doesn't respond. Just will give stare at you for a few moments, and you understand that he understands, but doesn't respond.
Look, I know you probably fucking hate my guts. I get it. I don't worship the ground you walk on and all that. But if what you're doing is supposed to be to the benefit of stopping Reapers or doing something more in the galaxy than just getting people to worship your boots, that intel would be useful. We are trying to do some good out here, and maybe that's not what you're doing, then fine, fuck you. But there's a lot of, as you would put it, selfish, stupid primitives only out there for themselves, causing a lot of bad shit to happen and ruining the galaxy. And, well, we have a lot of fucking work to do. So, if you have anything useful you'd like to share before we pass you to the murder bot, music bot, whatever the fuck he is, love to hear it.
Protheans do not hate anything except the Reapers.
Well, I spent my whole fucking life fighting them, and I lost everything fighting them, so I'm with you there. If we can agree on anything, it's that. Unfortunately, everyone's gotten fucking satiated and thinking they're gone, and they're kicking their legs up and looking at Reaper tech and trying to better themselves and profit and do all kinds of dumb shit. And I don't believe the threat's gone, to be honest with you. It just doesn't feel right in my stomach. So, again, this is me trying to nicely ask if there's anything you can tell us that might help in that endeavor or in something else you think is worthy of our primitive brains. At least this batch sitting in front of you are trying to do good and fight the Reaper threat. I can't promise you everyone out there is like that, because some of them probably fucking worship the dumb things.
I think I understand humans now. Many words. Simple point.
Yeah, we have a lot of words. You should see the dictionary. It's real fucking thick.
My work. It continues from before the long rest. The fight is not over. The Protheans will rise. The Protheans will win. The Protheans will rule.
So, are you roundabout saying you have a way of like revitalizing your species and bringing them back? Or are you saying like the 5 of you that might be running around right now are going to stop the Reapers by yourselves?
You want more answers? Show me the blood of a Reaper on your hands. Only then will you earn more from me.
With the exception of footage of what was the one that attacked the Citadel?
That was a Reaper. His name was Sovereign, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I can't remember the name. I imagine Graff would know that name.
Yeah.
With the exception of one called Sovereign that attacked Citadel, God, 20, 30 years ago now. I've not had really a personal encounter with another one. Just some of the underlings and creations and shit that they've dealt with. So don't know exactly where I'd find one to get you some blood, but goddamn if I haven't shed a whole lot of fucking other blood that the Reapers have been sending after us for the last 30 years.
I do not want pawns. You win. Checkmate. Bring me proof of the King's crown, and then we talk.
Do you have coordinates of one? Do you know where there's one chilling out?
You think you are prepared now?
God, no.
When you have the blood of a Reaper on your hands, we will talk.
Right.
And I guess we'll see you soon.
When you say "see you soon," he assumes it's a joke, and he actually laughs for the first time.
Good.
It was clearly he took it as a joke, not as like a.
It was a joke.
Oh, okay, good. Because he definitely took
Yeah,
that as a
okay.
joke.
Yes,
Awesome.
that was a joke.
All right.
Anyway, night. Medical drone gonna give you the night medicine.
Yeah, it helps with coughing, sneezing, flu-like symptoms.
Being alive.
You actually say that to him? You say that he's putting you
Me?
to sleep?
No.
Do you give him any form of warning of what it is that you're doing, or no?
No. Would you? I wouldn't.
I'm
God,
not.
no.
I'm just seeing what your plan here is.
No, as soon as we're done, it's whatever the protocol was called. Graff would input that into the medical drone or say it or whatever he has
Yeah,
to.
protocol sleep and beauty. Yeah. Subtle.
How ironic.
So once he's out, I assume no one else wanted to talk to him? Once he's out, when we step out of the room and get away from him a bit, Graff will turn to Frait. It seems like your method of kissing his ass worked a lot better than whatever the fuck I was doing.
You need to learn how to not make enemies.
Yeah. Or I just next time we wake him up, you go in and talk to him and pretend to kiss his ass some more. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Hey,
You were faking it, right?
to change the subject quickly,
Oh god damn it.
he said the collectors no longer have their minds controlled by...
Don't give a fuck. If they're that easily manipulated, then they're just fucking drones being used for evil anyway, so who gives a shit who's pulling the fucking strings?
I think
Until I see one
think you-
carrying an old lady across the fucking street or delivering bread, I'm shooting on sight.
Which
Okay,
is fine.
maybe remember what you mentioned earlier, Graff, about, letting your emotions get the better of you.
Yeah,
I'm
with
sure
him.
That's not. Okay, well, I'm sure that's not what.
I'm being a hypocrite.
Gusty will actually swing into your defense, and he's going to say, honestly, he's not wrong if they're little more than insects. The Prothean's words. I mean, I've stepped on quite a few bugs.
And that's exactly the same perspective that they have of us. Right? This Prothean just said so.
Yeah, and if he had his way, they'd be stomping all over us, and that would suck. Reapers have been trying to stomp all over us too, but again, till I see a collector doing something good.
let's roll this back for a second. The collectors no longer are the worthy weapons they once were when you fought them. Now
I
they're no
wouldn't
more
call
than
them
bugs.
worthy weapons back then. They were fucking dogs that hit on their goddamn ship while they killed my fucking family.
Poor choice of words, I'm sorry. But the point is this. You need to learn how to treat them like bugs. And not give them that power.
Well, he'll pat his rifle. I got my fly swatter ready.
Maybe. But your brain's hyper-focused. On one thing. It's not good.
I don't blame you, okay, for the record. Totally understand. But I think the focus should be on what the Prothean said about where it stands with the Reapers. I mean, right, we're both in agreement about the fact that we're against them, but clearly he's got another motivation here. He just said so, right? He wants to bring back all the Protheans, and they want to be the ones to, run things? He wants to be in charge. I mean, he's got his personal vendetta, just similarly to how you have yours, it's just much different and larger scale. Something still feels off, obviously, about it. It doesn't seem good. So yeah, I definitely want more answers if Hemlock can get them. But I don't know. I mean, clearly there's a lot of other things going on.
I mean, if we could remove the 500-year-old petrified stick out of his ass, he might be a decent ally. But clearly their high and mighty take on things is a bit challenging because we don't know his true motivations other than claims to want the Reapers gone. The interesting thing is he kind of agrees with my gut feeling that the Reapers aren't fully done. He wants Reaper blood. That means he thinks there's Reapers too. And dear God, if they're fucking regrouping and coming back, we are all fucked because the state of this place is... Who's gonna fight them? Despot? The fragments of the Alliance? We gotta get back to Earth and fucking get shit. We gotta find a way. There's gotta be a way to get the goddamn relays working again. And maybe if we can spread the word that Prothean's talking about Reapers coming back, it'll scare people enough to fucking get out of their own asses.
Earth is in the heart of where the Reapers were. That was the system.
Yeah.
That would be like opening the doors to let the rats in.
Well, I'm not saying we turn the relays on first, but now that I could get us there somehow. I know I can.
Graff, I don't mean to stack on bad news, but I don't think Earth is an option.
It will be.
Maybe, but probably not in our lifetime.
I'm fucking getting back there in my lifetime or I'm gonna die trying. In the meantime, though, what you're not wrong about is it's not the number one priority. We got other shit to do.
Where's the droid? Where's Hemlock?
I don't know, fucking up his own ass, refusing to film shit in a different room.
You seemed more annoyed when you came back in the room after going to talk to him.
Yeah, I told him that we wanted to be present for his talk with the Prothean, and he said no. And I said, okay, well, can you film it? No. Okay, can you pass along the intel you get from it? I will pass along the intel I think is pertinent to you. So I told him to fuck himself, and I came back in.
Sounds like he's got another plan then. Perhaps we best leave that alone. And then as he says that, he'll type something in his Omni tool, and then a message will pop up on yours that says, should we turn him to the Alliance?
Yeah, I don't know how well we can trust Hemlock to. This is me having a conversation while like you're looking at your Omni tool.
If I
Right,
could just send a
Rena.
text message while you're responding, he'll just say, I don't know. That's what he will say. Go
Continue,
ahead.
Rita, go ahead.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know how well we can really trust Hemlock to question him. His methods are a bit odd. As she kind of thinks back, like, I don't know. I mean, he's got his ways, so it would work, but like also like, what is he really looking to get out of him?
I mean, Hemlock's successful, filthy fucking rich, and has some good motivations, but ultimately, with a goddamn robot, who the fuck knows? It's not like he's feeling empathy or sympathy, so what motivates him, I don't truly know. I guess whatever his brain thinks is the most good for whatever. Himself, the galaxy, the universe, music. I don't fucking know. So,
Frait
no, I
just
don't
kind
think...
of Frait raises his head and like looks up towards the ceiling, and he says, Hemlock, you want to share what your motives are? Like to the walls.
No response.
I don't care if he fucking hears me. Point being, who knows what his motivations are, but I think one thing we have learned is whether it's robots or Protheans or Alliance or Dominion or anyone else, everyone's got their own motives and none of them are pure. It's gonna be tough to fully trust anybody with anything because everyone's gonna try to use things to get the upper hand.
And I guess in a way neither are we, since we did all this for money.
Well, money so we can keep doing what we're doing.
It was money
Maybe
we
they're
needed
doing the
at the
same
time.
things. Huh?
Maybe, but hopefully we're not getting to the point where we're going to be implanting control chips into people or trying to use Reaper tech to create our own following or shit like that. I hope that we stay above ground on that.
Well,
I've served the Alliance
it's-
my whole life, whether it was formally or, on the side. And there's some good people there that I do trust, but looking at the Dominion, I mean,
gross.
they weren't that bad.
He'll say, Frait will say, there's a saying, I'm sure you have a similar one. It says that you don't truly know the steps someone else took until you take them yourself and go just as far. Not sure if that translates well.
I get
But,
the gist of it.
Yeah.
There were stories about some crazy fucking war crimes during the Reaper War. And I'm sure there's been horrible shit we don't know about since. I mean, look at what they were doing on that station.
Right.
I think a lot of
Maybe-
people start off with pure motives, but then they go down some rabbit hole of thinking they can be God, like the one in there, and they lose sight of what they were truly trying to accomplish because they get fucking power hungry. And that we might fall prey to that shit too, I guess. But I don't know. I still just feel like a fucking pilot driving to the next job.
I
I just
wonder
hope the
if
jobs we take are the right ones.
I wonder if we'll ever see the end. But
End of the
I'd like to
war?
at least, The end of the age of war that we're in. Yeah, rebuilding, reconstruction. I wonder what lies at the end of the tunnel.
Maybe it's my fucking pessimism of the last 20 years, but at least during the Reaper Wars, we all seemed united. Since then, it's like the worst parts of history on Earth that you hear about, galaxy-wide. Greed and corruption every fucking where. Companies making metagel on one side. Fucking mind control underground. So, even if we see the end of the Reaper War, what's that leave the galaxy with? Nothing to fear and a bunch of fucking chaos.
Careful, you're starting to sound like one.
One what? Reaper?
Yeah, one that's ready for a reset.
No, I don't think there needs to be a reset. I'm just not optimistic that the end of the war means peace and kumbaya. There's always someone to fight. Whether we want to or not.
I'm pretty sore. I think I need a lie. Sounds like you were up all night coughing and sneezing or something, so perhaps you should too.
I mean, it was a bit of hyperbole because he was talking shit, so I was just trying to talk shit back.
I know, but we both bled today.
I threw a grenade at myself in space. That's kind of cool. Didn't really work.
You know, I was actually going to shoot you to get you going in the right direction. And then when I saw you blow yourself up, I realized how stupid we both were.
Well, I mean, I was running low on oxygen and probably about to die in space, so my options were a little limited.
I mean, both things would have worked, but you had to get them exactly correct, and that would have taken a lot more calculations that I simply didn't have any time for.
I mean, the ship was that way, and I threw the grenade that way. I thought it was pretty good calculation, but...
Right, well, I'm gonna go lie, so... have a good conversation about which direction
Well,
to
you
blow
didn't
yourself
take
up.
into account the force and like how much that would and how far you threw it. You'd have to throw it just far enough so it was
If
enough
you
force
start
to hit
walking
you,
Dog,
out,
so
dog,
you
yeah.
start going back to
Strix will
the.
follow you.
yeah, dog, yeah. Frait, before you go, well, next time, can you... The flashbang, maybe don't fucking tell us something?
Oh,
yell like
yeah.
grapefruit or something. I don't know. Fucking give us some kind of indications. We don't all fucking go...
Grapefruit.
I don't
How
care
about I
what you
yell,
say.
how about I yell lights?
That seems on the nose, but you know, it's better than just throwing it. So sure, whatever the fuck you want.
I mean,
Lights.
flashbang out would have worked just fine, but okay.
I mean, then they might have blinked too. You could have said that, I don't know. The shoes are off the walrus. I don't know, just anything.
Right, well, I'm gonna leave.
Walrus is an earth animal. Yeah.
Strix will
Good
just leave.
So Strix, were you in there with what's his name during their, because their chat was kind of in the hallway? Would you have stayed in there with the Prothean or no?
Nah, probably not.
Ah,
I
okay.
mean, I would want to be in earshot of what they were all talking about. So I mean, if I could be kind of like in the doorway still, just hearing both conversations.
Well, so if you're in there with him, if you're still inside the room or whatever, so you can see him, you can see he's doing something a little bit strange. He's actually at one point in time, now that he's awake and nobody's like actively
I
speaking
thought we
to him
said
or
the
interacting
good night
with him.
protocol.
Hmm?
Said the protocol.
Yeah, it doesn't happen instantaneously. So so now that he's awake and nobody's interacting with him directly, he's spending some times, touching the gripping onto the side of the bed and like actively holding it for a few moments. And you can see like as he's doing this, a couple of his eyes seem to lose focus, while others continue to take in the details around the room, occasionally looking at the crew and kind of like analyzing them and so on and so forth. But he's actively like reaching out and touching things, and he seems to be having these mild reactions as he's doing so. Is this something that you would inquire about at all or bring your attention to, or do you just flat out ignore it so you can listen to the party's conversation?
No, I don't think I would ignore it. I would. Would I be able to tell if he's in pain? Like, would he need me to like help? I guess.
No pain. Though he does seem put off by it. You can roll an insight check if you would like
Yeah, I'll do that.
to see if I can give you anything. Otherwise, you just have to work based off of your own thoughts. You're on your own thoughts there, unless you're lucky. Actually,
I would probably walk away from the
no
good.
lucky.
No lucky.
No lucky. It's a continuation of last night.
Funny. It seems like we're in a whole new session of our own that I had to leave my stream for.
I left the party, dude. I want to hear it.
Fine, everyone.
I wasn't gonna use it anyway. I would have approached him.
Yeah, sure. So you walk up to him. What do you say?
You seem to be, at least in my eyes, uncomfortable. I wouldn't like get close, but I mean, I would probably take a step or two.
He doesn't. He then stops, kind of like what he's doing. His hands relax from whatever he was working on, and then he looks at you. You can see that whatever the drip it was they were putting into his veins, it's now like worked its way through the IV, the tube or whatever. So it's now starting to enter his body. So you have like a very limited window before it starts to have its impact on him, right? Because now it's getting in there. But he says to you, "Wait, sorry. You said in pain, right?" He says,
You seem to be uncomfortable or in pain.
No, not pain. It is this bed. It tells a story. Its memories. They are of manipulation. Many have lost themselves in this bed. It is not to treat the wounded. It is to manipulate in the name. I am fucking machines.
and his eyes start to like roll into the back of his head as he starts to lose consciousness. He's not fully out yet, but he's starting to lose consciousness.
I'd probably take one more step, probably in like, I guess, close proximity, probably where Gusty was standing. Are you saying this bed was made to torture? Is that what you're worried about?
Not torture. Oh, I suppose, yes. Torture not always. Pain. It is losing oneself. So manipulate.
And with that, he's out.
Strix would just say over his body, as I guess he's passed out now, right?
Yes.
With such a high being. At the end, you were afraid of something.
Always the machines. Yep, and he's so he's unconscious.
Strix would probably head out.
Yep.
From there.
Go join the rest of them. So you only missed like 20 seconds,
It's not
30
like
seconds of their combo.
It's not like it pertained to me.
He really
anyway,
just
but-
missed me roasting Graff for losing his cool.
Yeah.
And
I
Larrea,
don't-
of course.
You and
on
I
my side.
remember this conversation very differently from one another.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember correctly.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
By the time I get out there, are they done?
Yeah, you kind of like come out at the very end of the conversation. Yep.
I think Frait went off to go to bed, so I think Larrea and Graff are still standing there.
All right. He'll just kind of like walk past both of you. He'll kind of like nudge you, nudge Graff. Need a second. But he'll just keep walking. He won't stop.
Yeah, okay.
Are you gonna follow him, or you're just gonna just like?
He will in a second. Like he'll follow behind you. But he's gonna like say something to Larrea first.
All
right. Frait wasn't entirely wrong. I told him to keep his cool, and I lost mine a bit. I'm not really the type to never really interrogated. But I think it's good to know that what Frait did was working with this guy. So if we need to talk to him anymore before we get to where we're going, him taking the lead's probably for the best. I think maybe me being there is distracting, so I kind of kept it up. You know, the whole bad cop, good idiot thing.
Right. I follow your logic there. Maybe it'll be better to stick to just one of us. Anyway, if we do future interrogations, though. I'm not sure who we would need to interrogate more than Prothean.
Well, that's what I mean. If
Still
we talk to
interested
the same
hear.
guy, I think Frait takes the lead, and I'll stand there and make my comments. But if
I still think we learned a lot just based off of his interaction alone. I mean, really, he's got his own plans, like I mentioned before. So we got what we could for now.
yeah, I'm gonna go see what Strix wants, but
Yeah.
that hallway and everything that
right.
happened on the ship, it's kind of a taste of what you're in for if you hang with us for long. It gets fucky.
She like you say that, and then she kind of her breath catches, and she kind of just like stops breathing for a second and just gives you a nod. Motions to the direction where Strix went, and then says quickly, "I'm gonna go lie down."
Have a good night, Doc.
She nods and then walks away.
All right, Strix, what the fuck you want?
He was he seemed quite uncomfortable there at the last moments of consciousness.
Like, he needed his pillow fluffing or something else?
No, he was afraid of the machines.
What machines? The monitors, the injectors, the reapers, hemlock?
Seemed like he was more just afraid of the machines in general.
Oh, no. Strix, unless you want to interpret it that way, Pat, Hemlock. Or the AI.
I was going to get to that.
Okay, my apologies. I didn't want to continue. Sorry.
It seems the machines in general. Mainly, I imagine what Hemlock will do to him after we're gone. At least that's what I got from him. At no moment did he ever show fear until those last few moments.
I mean, what did he do?
I think he would just repeat himself. He showed true fear. Maybe not completely true fear, but probably just a very big worrisome fear. He felt what others felt in that bed. And like I told you earlier,
he felt what? Repeat that last part. He felt what people felt in that bed.
Told you earlier, he can feel what
Yeah,
others
if he
feel
touches you, but he can feel it through an inanimate object.
I'm just telling you what he told me. You seem pretty gung-ho and wanting to know everything about him, so I figured I'd let you know.
Well, he's a Prothean. He's got a whole lifetime of shit before hundreds of years before we were born, and whatever he's been up to now, who knows what technology he knows, intel he knows. There's so much we could have learned from him, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little skewed with him working with the collectors.
That's how you feel. He's still just in the other room. I don't know what you can do to get him away from Hemlock at this point, but you're clever. You can think something. I'm gonna kind of like nudge you, kind of like, it's like a compliment kind of thing. Like, you're smart. Figure something out. You're clever. You can figure something out. You care about this crap more than a lot of us do. It hits home, I believe. Anywho, he's gonna kind of like stretch his back a little bit. I'm beat, and I think we took a beating today. I'm gonna go work on the lore. Try to get the console back. Frait seems particularly interested in it. If you need me, just call.
Yeah. Rest well. When everyone goes to bed, I think Graff will go back into the room with the Prothean and just kind of like sit in a chair for a while. Hemlock, you around? You hear me?
No. It was a joke. I was being... What can I assist you with, Graff?
Apparently, our friend here can read memories of shit you've done to things in that bed. So, I guess everything he touches, alive or not, he learns something from. I'm curious if, I let him, I don't know, touch my hand and get my whole history, if that would change his outlook on, information he's willing to divulge. Because, I mean, I pretty much have devoted my whole life to trying to do the same fight he claims to have done. But, some of that shit, I don't know if I want to talk about it with everybody, but if it would get him to open up some, maybe it's worth trying.
I think you overvalue your experience.
Yeah, and I fucking hate you, and I keep saying that, but, you know, I keep talking to you, so here we are.
Do not be offended. This is a common organic situation. You find yourself to be unique. Common phrases, snowflake, or
No, I don't
stardust.
think I'm unique. I don't think he's fucking unique either. He's rare in our fucking timeline, but he thinks he's so much holier than thou. Maybe seeing other people fucking fought the same fight would change his mind on something.
Or perhaps he's continuing the responsibility that he had in his previous life.
Yeah, well, we don't know what all that shit is because he won't open up. And
He will be
I
open.
obviously don't trust that you're going to pass any of that fucking information on to us because you got your own little secrets.
That
It's no
information
fucking
will
secret.
be
I don't
passed.
trust you.
I have my
You say so.
interests, and those won't be shared with you. But where our interests align...
Well, what are your goddamn interests, Hemlock? What motivates you?
You haven't told me yet where it is that you wish to be dropped off.
That's up to everybody.
Perhaps you should have that conversation. We are approaching the
We
mass
call
relay.
that deflecting, what you're doing right now. But you claim to, you know, you make your music and you go and you stop some bad shit from happening. But what's your end game? What do you want? The good of the galaxy? The good of Hemlock? You have a favorite race you're pulling for?
I have yet to sell 1 trillion copies of a single album.
Yeah. And I have yet to find a pair of sneakers I think fits as good as my boots did during the war.
That probably can be replicated. Have you tried contacting the original manufacturer?
Your answer was bullshit, and so is mine. That's my point. All right. Well, it was worth a shot. You're still a son of a bitch.
I do not have a mother.
Maybe you and this Prothean will get a fucking long. Y'all think you're holier now. Good
Do not
night.
find myself to be...
Or was that he'll stroll off the bed?
Yeah. It's like you don't actually shut him off, but he does like the little effects to make you happy. He's still there. It's one of those things like, it feels like I hung up. I'm good. You know?
He walks away and he's like, I can't really walk away from being inside of him.
Oh.
We are.
How romantic.
Okay, well, and since you flew the shuttle in, you came in the back door, and just spread all of you out.
Next time I'll make my own hole.
Okay, well, interesting. All right, I think at this point there is nothing else. You're agreeing to let
Actually-
Hemlock have him. You
There is one other thing.
Oh, please
Well-
go ahead.
We aren't fully done. Go ahead, Missy.
Yeah. I just want to say the way that the Prothean treated all of us was exactly how I treat Scott in our group chat. Just so everyone knows, Scott is beneath me. He's a lesser being. And frankly, the lessest being, some would say the least, but I say the lessest. of everyone that I've ever known. So
So
Thanks for
Messi
that
is
redeem.
from A, the furthest south state, and B, fucking Florida. And he's saying that we, or at least I, am the primitive that is beneath, despite geographical
Here's the
and
Thank
thing:
you
at least
for
Florida people know
recapping my
their
insult.
place at the bottom of the totem pole. You Massachusettsans think you're really high
excuse
up
me,
there.
it's pronounced masshole.
Sure.
There we go.
But to get back, I think one final thing that would take place because Frait had messaged him. I think Frait, I don't know if we have DMs or what we have, but I think Graff would talk to Frait and Larrea. I don't know if Strix would care, but he would include him in like if we have like a group conversation method that would keep Hemlock out. We would talk about if keeping the Prothean here was the best option versus turning him into like the Alliance, like Frait mentioned.
I think if you brought it back up, Freight would immediately shut it down and say, we've already made our decision.
You're the one that brought it up.
At the time, there might have been a chance, but it's too far.
We can literally go land on a planet where the Alliance is. Wouldn't be too difficult.
Are you saying this because you want to, or are you saying it's still an option?
I'm saying it's difficult isn't the reason not to. I'm not saying it's right. Figuring out the right thing to do is the discussion we should be having.
You and I talked briefly before. This is all just in the messaging. You and I talked briefly before. My opinion on the matter still has not changed. I just know he holds worth to you.
Yeah, but we can't. I don't know if he's necessarily wrong if he wasn't already a bit fucked up.
I mean, you would just recall that I'd say I didn't think leaving him with Hemlock was the best idea. I tried to tell you that. I don't know if you got that from me. I tried to tell you that.
No, he did. Like, he understands. That's why he's
Okay.
bringing it up again now. It's like whenever Frait brought it up, and then Frait brought up the Alliance, he assumes that Gusty and Larrea would probably be like, I mean, the Alliance isn't bad because they both served in it. But whenever Frait brings it up, that's when it's kind of like, maybe we should then. Like, I felt like I was biased leaning that way, but do I trust an AI with potentially this much info?
Yeah, that's kind of where Strix was leaning, that he just didn't trust leaving him with Hemlock, if that's how the Prothean felt about being left with the AI.
That's how you bring it up in the chat. Freight would say, I'm not a fan of either option. But I think it would weigh on my conscience less if we just went with the current plan and didn't try to call an audible that could potentially make things worse.
As much as I want to soothe your conscience, I also want to do what's best.
Well, weren't the Alliance actively fighting against this particular Prothean when we showed up?
Whether they know they were fighting against a Prothean or not, I don't know. I didn't tell them there was a Prothean. They were fighting to help eradicate this mechanical ship sword fighting threat.
Normally I would say, yeah, maybe get the Alliance involved, but in this particular instance, it would be one test after another, and, similar to how, I mean, I just scanned him, but that's quite literally the only test that I'll do. They'll want to dig deeper, try to find something else, interrogate harsher. It would go a lot further with the Alliance, I think, than if we just were to let Hemlock interview him or more. So I think I agree with Freight here, which sounds weird to say.
I mean, the Prothean, like Strix was saying, seemed more afraid of Hemlock whenever he was passing out than he seemed afraid of anyone else. So,
Who knows?
whatever that
Maybe
does to your
is a good
conscience.
thing.
Maybe. I don't trust either side would give us all the intel we're hoping to get. But if you all are satisfied leaving it this way, I won't say anything else about it. But being as literally everyone seemed to bring it up except for Larrea, figure it was worth talking about.
She sends the thumbs up emoji.
Now, when you do the thumbs up emoji, do you choose a skin tone or you just leave it yellow?
I leave it yellow.
Yeah, see, same. Just leave it yellow.
Great, glad we clarified. Graff wasn't gonna be able to sleep without knowing what color the thumb emoji was.
Well, I'm just
Yes,
lazy,
yeah.
so I don't...
Gonna drive us all insane.
Yeah, I think other than having a kind of rough night's sleep, Graff wouldn't say anything else.
Strick kind of spoke his piece with Graff, so he didn't have much to add on to the subject anyway.
So you guys are uncomfortable with it, but still leaving him with Hemlock and hoping for the best of the situation, considering...
I think we don't know that the Alliance is necessarily a better option. It might be, but also the difficulty in now removing him from Hemlock's care while we could do it would
There'll
potentially
just
cause
be
a
more
lot more
drama to
problems.
that. Yeah.
At least Hemlock is not a massive government force. If you wanted to go up against Hemlock, it's theoretically feasible. Sure, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of bodies of Hemlock, but it's just one AI, right?
Yeah, but unless we have a good reason to piss him off, it's like, well, right now we potentially have an ally, and he's at least telling us he'll give us intel, even though I don't think he'll give us what we want. Whereas the Alliance, oh, the Prothean disappeared as soon as they found out. Higher command took him. We've not heard anything. It's like, okay, well, we'll never know now.
Yep. Fortunately. All right. Well, then where does your crew choose to get dropped off? Hemlock is willing to give you a couple of options. One is to drop you off over at 8, which is the Citadel East location. Hemlock is, and you can just kind of like stay there, wait out time. It's not too far from where your ship is. Hemlock is also willing to just drop you back off at that base of operations that were of interest to you, in which case you can borrow the shuttle for a while. It'll be picked up again eventually later on. And if that ship can't be transported to you there, either A, because they're not willing, or B, you don't want anybody transporting it there because you want it to be a relatively secret location, Hemlock will be willing to send a delivery service to come and like to have a pickup for you guys along the way. You've done incredible work for Hemlock, and while you don't really owe each other anything anymore at this point, it's one of those like
kind of a thing.
a small little task like that is an inconvenience that's worth the allegiance that was made along the way. Pat, you said something?
I was just saying, it was just like the last of service he'd be doing for us.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like a little thank you. So I assume you guys were going to the base and wanted to spend time there kind of like getting rid of the bombs that were in it, arranging it, so on and so forth. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because should you do that and get dropped off with supplies or whatever you get along the way, you would effectively be locked at the base because your shuttle is not capable of traveling through the it can't do FTL jumps and it can't go through the thing. So you'd be stuck there for months, which is fine, but it gives you time to set up. So it's up to you. Or I say months, it's like realistically at least a month and a half or whatever it is. So it's up to you.
I know we're going to want to investigate the base area that we found. I think we'll want to go there, but we also need to go, like, we finished this job, and the person who hired this, was it Arcome or was it someone else that was for the, like, that started this entire chain?
So technically speaking,
Arcome, I
Arcome,
think.
which was the start of
Yeah.
the chain, you are correct there. Arcome was working for Hemlock. So when you did well with Arcome, so on and so forth, she kind of just, you signed the NDA, all that ridiculous obnoxiousness. That was you now moving past the kind of auxiliary person and going straight to the top. You're now no
Okay.
longer like at the
Chat
bottom.
kept bringing up, I don't remember this, but chat was bringing up a Drell that was involved in this too.
Yeah. So Arcome worked with, I can get her name for you, but Arcome worked with a female Drell that kind of like pointing you in directions. But once again, she was
Okay, so
working
they were all
for
working
Hemlock.
for, so Hemlock's the top.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
Okay.
Both of them were working for Hemlock to different extents. Different, yeah. But she's not like she's definitely somebody to be worth staying in contact with. So you can like request her information from Hemlock in case you ever wanted to reach out to her in the future. I don't know if any of you guys are keeping a list of NPCs of interest. You should definitely have a handout that you keep all the shit in Roll20. That way, because like the cool thing is like if you guys have questions that you need answered, you can just like ping an NPC that would have answers, and then you don't have to worry about like we're going to spend months
We
researching
have
this.
a Rena and a forensic for that.
That's true, but you also want to have it readily available, and if Rena's not available, and nobody ever looks at forensics notes.
I
still
agree.
don't even know if
Scott,
they
you should make a
exist.
handout for that. That'd be great. Thank you, man.
What?
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Oh, I'm not keeping track of PC stuff. I keep track of DM stuff.
No.
Oh yeah.
But
No,
perhaps,
no.
Perhaps we should make a handout that we can edit, and then you just tell us the names, and we'll put it all in there.
I mean, I get,
Maybe
but
not
you don't want
today,
just the names. You want the names and like who they are, so you can remember. So you don't just look at the name, and go. You want to like remember who
Well,
they are
yeah.
and what they know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've given you a bunch of handouts. I think you even have a handout specifically for players'
Really?
notes, party scrap, known
There's
schematics. What else do
players'
we have?
notes? Well, there's a player's notes. Oh, it just says known schematics and party scrap.
I can give you another one. That's fine. Let me do.
Hey, Forensic, we might need a new spreadsheet.
A
Thanks.
contact list
Boy.
or something.
Poise, people of interest. Now you have a poi one. It's over in players' notes. Boom.
Sweet. Forensic, can you help us fill this out? Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Forensic doesn't have access to Roll20, so you're asking
Yeah,
for
but-
Forensic to compile a list of people, descriptions, what they know, in a copy and pastable format. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Thank you for reading our minds, Scott. That was awesome.
That sounds great.
So
Thank
you're
you.
getting dropped off at your, with of course enough supplies that I'm not fucking.
Well, what's
with
our
you.
plan? Are we going to the base to do stuff? Are we sitting around? Like, is there anything else we want to take care of during this time other than like when like kind of?
Without a ship, it'll be kind of tough. So yeah, I guess we'll kind of have to hide out for a while.
Okay, then
little
we
bit,
probably
yeah.
want to get the server of information delivered to this base. We want to get that info back that's floating around. And I guess now would be the point where we kind of divulge some of that stuff to Larrea. If she's sticking around with us, we'd be like, well, here's what we've been holding on to. So
Welcome to the
But yeah,
team.
because I don't know if I think I know of its existence, but I don't know where it's at. I haven't looked at anything.
yeah, so we probably, if you're going to be part of the team at this point, I unless Frait or Strix object, I think it would be time to like open up and let you know about the info we've had, some of the other missions we've been on, about our secret admirer who's been feeding us intel that we know nothing about, and then some of the other stuff that we've got coming up that we want to do, because it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna be part of the team, you're gonna know about this place and everything else. We might as well, you're in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you survived a big bad mission where we all got kind of fucked up. Now you're one of us.
One of us.
The initiation.
Insert weird 80s music. Protectors of the universe.
Protectors of the deep.
You want a group name?
They call
Hey,
themselves the
hey.
Guardians.
What's the matter with
The galaxy.
No. They call themselves the Protectors of the Universe.
condoms of the deep?
Okay.
No? All right.
No, I've seen the boys.
I mean,
He doesn't-
you
he
guys
doesn't know
have been
what a
living
condom
together for
is.
a while. I kind of assumed you. Never mind.
He's more like tentacles of the deep.
Okay, we can cut it off right there. That's
Thank you guys for
Are there
playing.
squid down there?
Wish
deep
they
fuck
could
fish?
be part of his world.
Ooh.
He's less interested in Ariel and more interested in Flounder, probably.
Okay.
Sebastian looks pretty good too.
Anywho.
Under the sea, where it is wetter, it's so much better. Take it from me.
Rasa?
That's my Jamaican accent. You couldn't tell.
It's,
Okay.
everything's Crassa.
Everything's just crossing.
everything sounds like Crossa. Time to raid. Who are we raiding?
Well. So you guys are going to the base, so on and so forth. Awesome. So, before we get out of here, just a small announcement that we're gonna do. I don't know if there's anything you guys wanted to say, but I did want to announce to everybody for season 2 who our guest was going to be that's coming in to join us. They'll be coming in for about 6 sessions.
Of season
starting
2?
Yeah, starting it
Jesus,
was
I
starting
can't believe
in
we're doing season 2
3.
again.
Start for season 3, starting in around season. Oh, okay, this thing kind of good. It got limp. Starting around session 2 or 3 of next season, so in a couple of weeks, we're actually going to have Sir Keegan is going to be joining us for about 6 weeks' time. So I've been working with Sir Keegan about what their character is going to be, so on and so forth. Worked really hard to make sure that it meshed well with the party. I think it's going to work out very great. I'm very excited about it. So Sir Keegan's now in chat. Literally walked away from their own campaign that they're in the middle of DMing to come and say hi to everybody. So hi, Keegan. Thanks for coming by and saying hi.
DMs come and go in campaigns all the time. Easily replaced.
I think that's actually his goal, is to slide in here and just be so awesome that he just kind of like, does one of these where he's like, oh, look at that. Oh, no, bring me back. I switched our.
He replaced his
Yeah.
with your cam.
Yeah,
Wade.
yeah. So like okay.
None of us knew what you did because
So you're saying he'd rather be a sub than a dom?
yes.
No, I was saying.
Good to know. Welcome aboard.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. Well, anyways, that's what I have to say. Anything you guys want to announce or say? Or are we good to just set up a raid and run out of here?
I really feel like we just did this for some reason within the last 24 hours.
It actually was about 23 hours ago. Yeah, you're right.
Whoops.
Crazy.
Cool.
Hit the wrong button. What are you doing with my cat?
Well, let's go and raid some New Zealanders. They like to bring the chaos.
Say she handles it better than you, Messy, but I don't
Yeah.
Pat, you talk.
I'm doing my big end of the year-a-thon tomorrow. Join me. I think I might be playing games with Wade and N2N and a couple others. Maybe, I don't know. Lethal Company.
What is that?
I didn't know if you wanted to keep
Oh,
playing tomorrow.
fuck. Yeah, man, I've really been meaning to find out. Yeah, I should be able. Yeah, probably. Maybe. I'll let you
I didn't know if you wanted to continue the 5K. So
Yes. But can I? I think. Huh. We'll find out.
surprise.
Baby face, messy baby face.